Good Tuesday afternoon. I wanted to touch base with you because we are here at the last day of class, and so things are going to move pretty quick from here on out. So I just wanted to communicate as I start to kind of grade things as they come in so that I can kind of keep myself going and get things back to you in a quick manner. So what we had to do here today, and I've started grading them if you've turned them in, and if not, you've still got a little while, so that's fine. But I just wanted to go ahead and give some feedback. The first thing we have due today is the economic impact assignment. So thank you for those submissions. And as discussed in this last in the last couple of weeks of class, in chapter 12 of your book, economic impact is often something that investors try to sell to a community when an owner like Jerry Jones or an investor asks for public money like bonds or sales taxes to help fund a stadium project. So economic impact is often something that investor will try to sell the community on. They'll say that it's going to generate it's going to generate a return on investment in things like tax revenues and business revenues and wages into the economy. So mostly this assignment just asks you to kind of tell a story of two projects, one that went well and generated that positive economic impact, and then one that didn't quite do what it was planned as far as generating that economic impact in the community, like the builders or owners or financiers thought or said it would. So you gathered some facts about how the stadium was financed, usually a combination of some kind of private investor financing or gifts, and then public money like taxes or bonds. And then you were asked to follow up regarding how the economic development and economic impact of each stadium project turned out. So you were researching for data for economic impact indicators that were presented in Chapter 12, like visitors, expenditure estimates, indirect spending, which is, from Chapter 12, is a few ways in which money spent at the event gets recycled back into the local economy, like through jobs, for example. Or you might have looked at tax impacts like hotel, motel, restaurant tax, or the capture rate of that money. So there were a lot of different economic impact indicators discussed in Chapter 12, and those were some things that you were going to look at and present data regarding for each stadium to kind of tell your story for how did it turn out, what is their economic impact, what happened there. And there are plenty of different data types discussed in Chapter 12 to tell that story. So you were doing a little bit of research or digging for some of those facts that tell that economic impact story. And then you were asked to compare the success story with the not so successful story. So what were some of the factors in each situation that led to either positive economic impact or the economic impact not quite living up to what it was planned to or what the investors wanted it to? So what were some of the factors in each case that led to each story kind of turning out the way that it did? So those were some of the things that I was looking for in that assignment. Basically a tale of two stadiums comparing their stories and presenting their facts based on the research that you did. So how are they financed? What was the plan for economic impact? What was kind of sold to the public for each project? And then what actually ended up happening with the economic impact with each story. And your presentation was also part of that. You had to do a presentation as well, and it specified a few different things. One was visual evidence of what you presented. So if you talked about a certain stadium, what were some of the pictures, not just of the stadium, but about the economic situation that surrounded the stadium. So, for example, if you talked about how run down the area has gotten around the stadium, then show us kind of some visual pictures of that. What did that look like? I'm curious to see what that looks like, and that's part of the presentation. And then also, if you did a PowerPoint, I asked you to narrate that. So That was part of the specification on the instructions. So that was the economic impact assignment, and I appreciated it. I appreciated that. Thank you for that work and your research there. We've got the final this Wednesday, December the 4th, so I will get that graded as soon as I can. And I will grade the rest of the economic impact studies presentations as soon as I can. So I sent you a message about this a couple of days ago, but your next steps are to go through your grades and double check what you've gotten, what I've given you, the feedback I've given, and then talk to me about anything that doesn't seem right to you. If part of my feedback said you didn't present this and you think you did, then I'm happy to go and look at that again and talk it over with you. So, and I'm happy to do that. Like I said in my message, I'm happy to discuss, that feedback with you, because it shows that you're paying attention and that you have thought about it, and that's great. That's kind of the point. So, your deadline for this, to let me know if you have, if you'd like me to re-look or re-examine any part of your assignments. Deadline for that is the end of the day on Monday, December 9th. So after that, whatever your grade is, at the end of the day on Monday, December the 9th, is going to be what I'm going to turn in to boss. So that's what you can expect to see for your grade. So if you have any questions about your grade, you want me to look at anything, you have any concerns about what your grade is looking like it's going to be, let me know by the end of the day, Monday, December 9th. Otherwise, it's a final. So thank you so much for your work in this class, and, and week in, week out, your communication with me, and I appreciate that. So I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.